Hey, Bastich B here for 64K and welcome to vlog number 40, December 2022. So this is a little roundup video of everything that happened this year and what's coming up for the channel in January. So overall this year, 2022, 64K channel, I was able to put out 89 videos. 89, that's quite a lot. It's not as many as previous year, 2021. But in terms of content, there was way more content because there were multiple 4 to 5 hour videos plus a few 1.5 to 2 hour videos, those are massive. So in terms of content actually put out onto the channel, this year was the biggest it's ever been. And talking about big content, if you haven't already seen it, the Arcade Universal Language Part 3, the 1990s, came out last week. So if you haven't checked that one out, it's 5.5 hours long. It covers over 340 different arcade games. It is massive. It took me 2.5 to 3 months to actually put together. That's just editing time. So that's why there were a lot of compilations near the end of this year. It helped out with people catching up. They were new to the channel. And also because I was working on that so relentlessly. So please check it out if you haven't. And starting in January, we'll be back to regular programming. I'll be doing episodes from our regular series. It'll be 1 video a week, you know, the usual, sometimes 2. So all the good stuff is coming back. There'll be multiple top 10s, including the top 10 Commodore 64 games of 2022. I wanted to wait for the year to actually be fully complete before doing that. In previous years, my cutoff was the beginning of December, but I know there have been a few games in the last couple of weeks, and there's a couple coming up that are coming out in December, and I just wanted to include all those, or at least give them the chance to see whether they make the top 10. So I think they'll be pretty comprehensive, so I'm sure you'll enjoy that. There'll also be a wrestling special on wrestling video games, which I've never really covered on this channel at all. There'll be a return of Judge and Jury. We're going to check out some really classic Amiga games. So everything's getting back to the usual. I'll be introducing still the rest of the new series that I was busy doing, plus all the old stuff. I'm really looking forward to jumping back into the smaller videos again after doing this arcade video for like almost 3 months. I actually don't even remember how to make any of these other episodes, just as well I wrote them down. I have a book on how to make these episodes, like the format, because I don't even remember how to make any of them. I'm gonna have to watch my old videos to figure it out. But this arcade thing has just been in my mind the whole time, but it's gonna be really fun. And the Hands-On Gaming podcast will continue in January, so look out for that. There will be lots of uploads of the video versions of episodes. I've still got a whole stock of them I haven't uploaded. You can check out all the podcasts. Obviously, they're way up to date with any episode, but the video versions are a bit behind, so there'll be a lot. There'll be probably like 1 episode each month in a video form on the channel as well. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of a stats roundup. I just got an email from YouTube. Kind of like does a rundown of your channel and gives you all the stats. It's pretty interesting. I thought you might enjoy like hearing what it ended up for this year, 2022. I'm gonna read a whole bunch of this because there's a lot of stats here. I'll just highlight the big stuff really. So this is stats from January 1st to December 1st, so it doesn't count this whole month, which has had a lot of like A lot of good stuff. But anyway, so let's see. So for the amount of views the channel got, it got 351,000 views across all the videos. Watch time minutes is 3.7 million watch time minutes this year. I don't know if any of this is good because they don't really give you any sort of comparisons, so it's just like, okay, I think that might be good, I hope so. For likes, the channel got 17.5 thousand likes this year. I think that sounds pretty good. And this one I do understand, because if you're a small channel like 64K and you've like started out in the trenches at 0 like I did and got up to wherever you are, it doesn't matter where you are, you know how hard it is to get those subscribers. You really have to put in the work, like a lot of effort. So for this year, this is the biggest year, I know that, for 64K. Got 3,076 new subscribers. There's been a lot of subscribers in this December, so it's not counting that, but still, that's the biggest this channel has ever been in 1 year for subscriber boost. So thank you to everybody from across the world that's subscribed. So on to the top videos for this year. This is pretty funny because I've had a few comments in the comments section and on social media where people have said, oh, you shouldn't make these massive videos, they are too long, you know, how am I supposed to watch this, it's impossible. Well, you can press play, and then when you have to do something, you press stop, and then when you come back later, you press play again and it continues. That's how YouTube works. So don't sweat the details. So anyway, and this proves those naysayers all wrong. The top 3 videos of this year are the longest videos I made this year. All 3 of them. The irony of it. So these are the most popular. The number 1 most popular video on the channel this year was the top 200 Commodore 64 games. I absolutely loved making that. That was such a nostalgia trip. That is pure C64 nostalgia. 80s and early 90s games, that's it. Had a few guests on there. They showed their best stuff as well. Super cool. If you're getting into the Commodore 64 for the first time and you want to see what the machine did in the past, then that's the video for you. Please check it out. The second most popular video was Arcades, the Universal Language Part 2, the 1980s. I figured this would be a given. 80s arcade scene was awesome. I love making that video. I think that was 4.5 hours or something long. Anyway, so that one, part 3 is out. As you already know, the 1990s. Please check that one out if you haven't. And then the third biggest video for this year is the Commodore 64 40th anniversary special. This was super cool to make. All the guests that participated in this, man, I had so much fun making it. If you're getting into the C64 again and you not only want to be checking out old stuff, but you want to see what the new stuff is and the new scene, that's what that video is all about. It's not just a pure nostalgia trip like the 200. This is for the modern C64 gamer, and there's a ton of info about how to get into the system in that, so check that one out if you're new to the channel and you want to find out more about this system if you don't know much about it. And then finally, the final stat here is the top 3 countries in the world that watch this channel. This is always surprising to me just because I do a lot of coverage of the European gaming scene, and I do a bit of everything, but still, the number 1 is the United States, is the number 1 viewers watch this channel. Number 2 is the UK, and number 3 is Germany. So a lot of countries where the C64 was massive. I just want to thank all 3 of those countries, especially for making this channel what it is. Cheers. And obviously everybody else around the world that watches. It's really appreciated, it really is. And that rounds up the stats for this year. And next is a little shameless plug for my Patreon. I don't ever mention this much on the channel, I figured that you guys can do a search yourself, and if you're interested in helping out, you can. But just to let you know, I'm on Patreon for as little as only $2 a month. You can get access to all the latest videos long before they premiere on YouTube. So if you want to check out all the latest stuff long before, you can. I also post like a lot of posts on there about behind the scenes stuff, what's happening, a little bit more raw and behind the scenes, so you get to know a little bit more like about the difficulties of making some of these videos sometimes. So you can check out the Patreon if you're interested. Another thing is I'm also on social media. A lot of you guys may not be aware, you just watch the YouTube, but I'm on all social media and I post a lot of extra content on there, little mini videos, just lots of things, just lots. So if you want to check me out, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, and I'm sure I'm forgetting out something, but anyway, all the main platforms, just search for Bastich B 64K and you'll find me. And in the new year, I'm going to appear on a couple of other channels also, which is pretty exciting. I've already shot an interview which is going to appear on a certain channel. I don't want to say yet, but I'll post links to it when it happens. That'll be in January. I'm also teaming up with another channel and a Japanese related channel, and I'll be on that. Also in probably February or March, there'll be an episode. I'm busy putting that together. And again, I'll give you more details a little bit closer to the time, but that's also going to be pretty cool. So I'm really enjoying these little team ups as well. And that's all I wanted to say for this quick little vlog. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, have a great holiday season, a Happy New Year, all that stuff. Thank you to everybody that watches videos on this channel on a regular basis. Anybody that shares any videos up, I really appreciate it. That's the only way this channel can go forward, is if people share it up or like it. So please go ahead and do that, only if you like the video. And on that note, thanks for joining me, Bastich B at 64K. I hope you had a good time, and if you can please like and subscribe, that'll be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you next year. Cheers.